Hi folks, today we're visiting Phyllis's garden. It's me with my daughter Olivia and Phyllis. So let's join Phyllis for a walk in her lovely, lovely garden. So Phyllis's garden is in Cheektowaga. It's featured on the East Side Garden Walk by Gardens Buffalo Niagara. And Phyllis is a master gardener in Erie County. So she has the passion for garden, and also she loves to share her knowledge. So now let's take a look at Phyllis's front yard. This is a very impressive mixed border. So you have.
Thank you.
Do you have a count of the number of the plants?
I have no idea.
You lost count.
I lost count a long time ago.
Yeah, but this is just stunning. You have ornamental grasses along with perennial. Look at the cornflower. The color is just unbelievable. And you also have shrubs, the nine bark, which is
Like
particularly attractive to pollinators early in the season because they flower earlier.
They do.
Yeah, you also have.
I'm very interested in helping the pollinators out because everything I grow, I like to be able to grow for the pollinators. And I really enjoy coming out and looking at all the bees.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
And all the different types of bees.
Different
I find
types
fascinating.
Of bees. Yeah, and I see you have this giant hosta. That is called Sun and
That's Sum and Substance.
Sum and Substance.
Yes.
Yeah, and
she gets huge.
And I was lucky enough to receive a few clones from you, which I added to my garden.
Oh, good.
Yeah, and something special here is. Phyllis has a patch of cactus, which is not yet in full bloom, but
it bloomed already.
Oh, it's bloomed.
It bloomed earlier.
Earlier. Okay.
Beautiful yellow flowers.
Yeah. So there are cold hardy
variety.
They
They are native to this area. Prickly pear cactus.
Oh, wonderful! Yeah, that's some new information to me. So, and we also have a shade garden under, this is a crabapple, right?
Yes, it is.
This is a crabapple tree, and it is just lovely. And we can enjoy the shade under this crabapple. So does the hosta. And let's take another look at the other side of Phyllis's garden. So we have more of the mixed border. We have different types of daisy and hosta with evergreen and the hydrangea. How lovely this is. This is
strawberry vanilla.
Tree form hydrangea. It's a hydrangea paniculata.
Yes.
So you are guaranteed to have flower every year.
Yes.
Because they bloom on new
growth.
New growth. You have the Russian sage, ornamental grass, and another tree form hydrangea, and you told me this is your favorite. Don't let the other hydrangea know.
Don't let it. It stays. It looks good much longer.
Yeah, this is the limelight. Limelight is a very, very good variety. I mean, they are essentially a large shrub, but you can trim and prune them into this like a miniature tree, like a lollipop shape.
Yes.
But they are a shrub. And the special thing with limelight is they have this very, very lovely blossom. Start from like lime green. That's how they get the name. And then it turn white, and they stay white.
They stay white for quite a while.
For a very long time. But when we get later into season, when it starts to get cold, they will have like a pinkish
brown sort of
tone. Yeah. So it keeps changing color throughout the summer. It's just lovely. And this is a shade garden area. Phyllis has some very interesting garden arts. So you call them the tea sets or?
I don't know what I call it.
Yeah. I mean, just add a touch of whimsical.
Some of my repurposed.
So you made it yourself?
I made.
Oh,
yes.
okay.
Well, I put it together.
Yeah.
Some of my thrift store finds.
I see. So giving the pottery, the ceramic, a second life in your garden.
Exactly.
Yeah, this is just lovely. Now let's go to take a look at Phyllis's backyard garden. There are more than a few surprises waiting for you. So let's go. Yeah. So Phyllis, this will be the third year you are on East Side Garden Walk, and you enjoy.
I enjoy it. I enjoy talking to people.
Yeah. Lovely. So let's enter the backyard garden. We can hear the birds chirping. It's very, very relaxing. And what's really special with Phyllis's backyard garden is we have a bee house complex and right next to the cornflower. So what do you do with the bee house? Anything special?
Basically, I just put them out. If you put them out at the right time, early spring, the local mason bees will find it, and the little females make their nest in the tubes.
Yeah, so they're primarily for the solitary bee.
Solitary bees.
Yeah,
yes.
so it's
no,
not
no honey.
Yeah, so it's not the
No
bee
hives.
we are thinking about with the hive that producing honey. Those are for solitary bees.
These
So
are
actually,
solitary bees.
so
yeah.
they take up
Native solitary
native
bees.
solitary bee. There are many variety of
There
them.
are.
There are larger ones, smaller ones, and they come out at different
Different
of
times
the
of the year.
So that's another reason why we want to diversify the planting in your garden. So we have early flowering plants providing nectar earlier,
Yes.
and we also have some late flowering plants, which is really crucial for their survival to be able to get the nectar later in season.
That's right.
But you do put them back, take them inside.
I put them in my unheated garage, and that pretty much protects them for the winter.
Yeah, I see. Yeah.
I get the mason bees
Uh-huh.
early in April, and their lifespan goes from about April through maybe early June.
Yeah.
And then mid-season, I get some leafcutter bees.
Leafcutter bee. Yeah. So if you look into the information about solitary bee, you'll be amazed. They're so tiny.
They're tiny,
and they fly in a different motion as the regular bee. If you pay attention, it's more. It's just so fascinating.
It is.
Yeah.
Very fascinating. And
Yeah.
they're very, very efficient pollinators.
Okay. Oh yeah, I think you mentioned that like the majority of the crops we eat, they are pollinated by solitary bee. Is that true? Yeah.
Some people who grow fruit in their orchids, orchards, will have
Introduce
several,
the- okay. Yeah, so they're important.
mason bee
So they're-
houses. Because
so
they're
they're-
very, very good at pollinating apples and pears and
okay.
other fruit trees.
So they are an important pollinator for
Yes.
for the food that we eat. Yeah, so that's a good point. Yeah, so with Phyllis's permission, I want to show you quickly Phyllis's working area.
My messy working area.
Yeah, so this is what I want that people know, that in order to have a good garden, in order to be a good gardener, you have to think about to have a dedicated work area where you start seed, where you put your seed tree, where you work on transplanting. So you need an area. So this is an essential part of a good garden. And because we love gardening so much, we always walk in the working area. So there's no no need for to keep in a tidy way. Yeah, because we're always working in the garden.
Yes, we
And
are.
I want to show you a few things that Phyllis started from seed. So the nasturtium, you started from seed.
I started from seed, yes.
Yeah, and what really is special is the canna lilies. Here you're looking at the pink one and also the yellow one. Phyllis started from seed.
Yes.
Yeah, if I'm not standing here looking at them, I wouldn't believe it if you say we can grow canna lily from seed in our climate, because they are a tropical plant. Yeah, so tell
Yes.
about your secret with the canna lily seed.
Well, a couple of years ago, I decided to do a little research in starting canna lilies from seed. And I went online, of course, and I went on YouTube, and there were several people there that showed you how to germinate your canna lily seeds.
So what's your secret weapon?
My secret weapon is my toenail clippers.
Yeah, so
So the seeds are very hard, and they need to be
really
scarred,
And
or
you can
in my
see
case, I just do a little clipping, and I clip off a little bit of the hard black coating,
Yeah.
and that allows the seed to take
Absorb
in
the
water.
water. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
And that
But
way gets the germination process
yeah,
started.
this is amazing. Yeah. That.
And I'm really fascinated that they will bloom in the first year.
Oh yeah, that's
I
another
start them in
important
February.
important information that you're
Yeah.
not going to be able to get anywhere else. So that's why you have to visit the garden, have a conversation with the gardener, and they'll be happy to tell you all of their secrets. Yeah,
Yes, we do.
yeah. Let's take a look at the other end of the garden. You have some huge, huge hosta enjoying the
Yes.
shade.
These are the
And-
old, very old, but very fragrant hostas.
Oh, so they bloom later.
They bloom in August. I think they also call it an August lily. at one
August
time.
lily. That's interesting.
And they originally came from my mother's garden.
From a mother, yeah. And this is a pear tree that
Yes.
you harvest the pear. Do you?
Last year we had like a bumper crop of pears. This
Okay.
year, not so much. It tends to be every other year.
I see.
Noticed.
Yeah. And let's walk by the hosta area. So Phyllis has a sunny border area. This is the Joe Pye Way. No?
Yes,
So
yeah.
you have the Joe Pye Way. It's very tall. It's probably
Behind it is ironweed,
ironweed.
the
Okay.
taller one.
Okay. And they are both native
Yes,
to our area.
yes.
So it's important.
Trying to grow more native plants.
Definitely. And you have some sunflower, clematis, and the moon cornflower, daylily, and rudbeckia. It's very, very colorful. So now,
I enjoy color.
yeah, me too. Yeah, let's take a look at this side. Before I enter the vegetable garden area, I want to show you a garden sign which has a very meaningful and a lovely message. So this is the sign behind the blue salvia and the yellow canna lily. The sign reads, "To plant a garden is to believe in tomorrow." I just love this message.
So do I, yeah.
And I was told some people believe this is the word from Audrey Hepburn. So right next to this lovely sign, it is Phyllis's vegetable garden area with the greenhouse. So tell us about the greenhouse. So why it is so important to your
Well,
process.
I've always wanted to have a greenhouse. Like the idea of being able to put my seedlings out early in the spring, and they can get more sunlight out here than they can
Yeah.
in the basement with them.
So
They're
they're
more like-
important part of the
And it's
system.
part of it helps with hardening them off.
Hardening off.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
They get used to being outside.
yeah. So when you start a plant from seed, this is an inevitable step. You have to get the seed acclimate to the outside environment,
Right.
and so that is called the process of hardening off.
Yeah.
Yeah. And let's take a look at your vegetable garden. You have so many different things. You have been growing garlic, right?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
the garlic is really ready to pull right
Yeah.
now.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to wait until
Yeah.
after the garden walk.
Yeah, of course. In addition to garlic, you have
I have
tomato.
several types of tomatoes, and this right here is ground cherries.
Ground cherry,
Have you
yeah.
ever tried ground
Yes,
cherries?
yeah, they're very sweet.
There's
Yeah.
sort of a tangy sweet.
Yeah, and we see you have the marigold planting right next to the vegetables. So this is the idea of companion planting. They kind of fend off unwanted insects and
Maybe.
yeah. So that's the theory.
That's
But
the theory.
yeah, but even if they don't work to a full extent to deter the unwanted insects, but they still look very lovely. They're aesthetically pleasing.
I
So
primarily plant them because I
Yeah.
like the way they look.
exactly. So the marigold is a very traditional choice for
Yes.
companion planting to the vegetable patch.
Right.
Yeah. So let's walk past the greenhouse and take a look inside. So you have some seedling of
I
the
do.
lupine, right?
Yes,
Uh-huh.
pines, which I have not gotten around to plant yet.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
I was a little bit over enthusiastic this spring and starting my things from seed. And
We all do.
yes,
Yeah.
yes, I probably grew more than I had time to really
Yeah.
plant.
You have your tumbler for
Yes, my
the
compost
for
bin.
compost, and you have more planting even in totes.
Yes.
Though, yeah, so those can be very, very handy. Yeah, and
Handy,
if you need additional large container,
like a little raised bed.
little raised bed, exactly. Now let's move on to this area. This is a very special garden. This is a memorial garden for Phyllis's mother. So tell us about this area, this garden.
Yes, my mother was named Agnes Marie, and she and my grandmother were very good gardeners, and that's probably where I got my gardening genes from.
Yeah, yeah. And more than a few plants in this particular bed came from your mother's garden. Show us.
The hosta in the corner came from her garden. The sedums in the front originally came from her garden.
Yeah.
And I have some hydrangeas here because my mother was always trying to grow hydrangeas that she would get from the altar at her church.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Unfortunately, they were probably florist hydrangeas, and they were not really suited to grow in this climate. But she was forever
trying
to get it to grow and bloom.
Yeah, that's the spirit of a true gardener.
Yes.
We try,
We don't give up.
we don't give up, and we always want to share.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a very, very special garden. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing your gardens.
Thank you for
thank you,
asking me.
Thank you, Phyllis.